Thank you for supporting our channel. Thank you for supporting Wizan. Please like, subscribe, comment, and hit the notification bell for any future videos. Today's podcast is two really wonderful Afghanistan students that I have grown to love and adore over the years. Mohammed Kheha and Najib Husseini. That is a hard name to pronounce, isn't it?
My name is hard to pronounce, but it's got very good meaning.
What's the meaning?
Well-wisher.
Well-wisher.
Well-wisher for everyone.
Okay.
Well-wisher for everyone.
And it's your nature as well.
That's correct, absolutely. Yeah.
Husseini doesn't have any meaning, really, does it? It's just a carried on name.
It has, actually. Najib's got, like generous.
What does it mean?
Generous, being generous.
Oh, you're generous.
Yes.
I thought you meant jaundice, like when you go yellow. Generous.
Yeah.
All right. Generous. So it's lovely to have you in the Wizan School as students. And obviously over time, I'd say we're friends. I've really enjoyed having you here and I really want to see you succeed. Najib, what level are you on now?
I am 21 at the moment.
21, so close. Yeah. So no points on 21s.
No points at the moment, yeah.
Okay, and you've got a few stories that maybe we can share about your journey on the knowledge. And Mo, what are you on at the moment?
Recently, I dropped on 21.
Yeah.
And I'm going next week, my first one.
First 21.
Yeah.
So on 21s, you could be literally 3 months away from the end. It's quite exciting to be so close to the end.
Never know.
You never know.
Maybe not.
Well, I'm wishing you well. I'm a well-wisher.
Thank you.
And I'm being very generous to you as well.
Yeah.
As
hopefully,
on the 21s, so how many years have you been doing this, Mo?
On my, I started the knowledge, my blue book, then suddenly COVID started. And then I stopped there and not memorizing everything. So suddenly I received a call from TFL. They said, you have to come for your map test. I said, wow. And I couldn't remember that. So then I asked them, give me a time. Then they called me after a couple of weeks again. And I said, okay, book me one. So they booked me around so far 18 months I'm on appearances, and I'm 21 now. And I've done about a year, I've done the blue book and the radius map, all of it.
Fantastic.
And that's my time.
Okay, well done. Really, really well done. Commendable. And what about you, Naj? How long have you been doing it now?
I started like 2019.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're coming up 3 years?
Yeah.
And you're on 21s?
3.5. Yeah.
Okay, so that's amazing. And how have you found the appearances? You found that they've been fair? You're happy with everything, how it's gone? Or you got any grievances?
To be honest, I don't know what to say. Is kind of part of game when you come to this game. Is you have to work hard anyway. Whatever is given to you, the examiner, you have to work as much as you can. But sometimes you lack as well. When you go there, the things you never been asked, they're asking you, and then sometimes you go, they're asking to see the line straight away. Yeah.
We spoke about this yesterday in the school about the fact that imagine how hard it would be for me, for example, if I moved from here and I went to live in Karachi, for example, in Pakistan, and I wanted to become a taxi driver there, and I then need to learn the language and then need to learn the names of the roads. And I also need to learn to be the standard that we've learned to be in terms of the knowledge of how we get from A to B and the names of all the restaurants, all in a language that's not my first language. How incredibly amazing the achievement would be to do that. And you guys have just done that.
Yeah, it is actually. You're right. You made a good point. When we go sometimes to appearance, the examiners, some of the examiners, I can't mention the name, but they they pick up, when we call the runs and then pick up, the words we're saying.
Yeah.
So you can't understand the accents.
Yeah.
And sometimes even we find the points and then even it's hard to pronounce. It's a French language, so involved in different, language. And it's hard to pronounce some of them, so you can't remember even.
Oh, the English language. I found that the English language, although lots of people speak it, from my experience of languages, I don't think the English language is actually very simple to learn, especially the written part. And the classic word for this as an example is the word enough.
Yeah.
The word enough in English is spelled E-N-O-U-G-H. It makes no sense whatsoever to anyone what's going on. Whereas my Turkish that I'm learning in Turkish is very frank. The way it's spelt is the way it's said. So if you can, when you read the words, you have a very, very good idea of how it's said. I don't know what it's like in Pashtun or Farsi, but it's a different altogether.
In Afghanistan, 99% of population are Muslim.
Yeah.
We had a few Sikh from Afghani Sikhs, which now they are all, most of them run away.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a few of them left, a few of them left. They are going as well. They're leaving the country, which is very painful. And they are very lovely people, very hard-working people. Yeah. In our country at the moment, especially Taliban took over, minorities, they are under threat. And if you don't speak Pashto, believe me or not, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. And the situation is very bad. People, they don't understand in here. Whatever they see in media, in TV, it's nothing.
Yeah.
They are not really showing exactly what is going on. So in Afghanistan, the other religion and minorities, they don't have life in there.
Yeah, nothing at all.
Nothing at all.
How did you come to be here in England?
My main reason coming here, the same war, which we had a very good life in Kabul. My father was working in he was as a counselor in 4 districts of Kabul. And me, my sister and brother was going to school, and I was very intelligent student at school. So when the Taliban took over, same night, we hired a minibus. The whole family, we put everything, we ran away. And took us about 24 hours to get to our village. So we've been there. Taliban even came up in our village after us.
Oh, wow.
We ran away from there as well. So then we've been living in different villages by villages and mountain by mountain, and the war was going on. So then I decided there's no life for me. Mm-hmm. And my sister's husband was in Pakistan. So my sister needed to go to Pakistan, and I said I'm going with my sister. So I came with my sister to Pakistan, and my brother-in-law, sister husband, he helped me. I borrowed some money from him. And my plan was coming to UK, to settle in here, and to get a better life.
Yeah.
So the journey started from Afghanistan, running away from Taliban.
Which year was this, Mark?
That was, I arrived in UK. Exactly.
Which year did you leave to go to Pakistan?
1999.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 23 years ago.
Yeah, same year. And that year I stayed in Pakistan around 3 months. So by the time I got the visa for Kyrgyzstan and made my passport, it took about 2-3 months. Then I flew from Pakistan to Kyrgyzstan. Then on the way, from Kyrgyzstan I went to Moscow. From Moscow I went to Ukraine. From Ukraine I went to Slovakia. From Slovakia I went to Czech. From Czech I came to Germany. From Germany, then I came to London. I flew from Germany. I came to Gatwick Airport. Okay. Now I remember that as Gatwick Airport. So when I came, I didn't even know what airport was that.
Yeah. But people are going to wonder why you didn't stay in Germany when you arrived in Germany. What made you want to springboard to England instead?
People were saying in here is a good country. Is being they're humanitarian, accepting people as a refugee is better than Germany. So then I decided to come here and have a better life and help my family.
Yeah. And that was which year?
That was 7th of July, 1999.
So in 1 year from Pakistan to here, you managed to get all that way?
That took me all the journey from Pakistan. It took me 3 months to get to UK.
All right.
And I spent it around $6,500 American dollars, US dollars, to get here. And that was in 1999.
Do you regret it?
Not really, because I'm having good life in here. My kids are growing up here. They're going to school, and they're happy here. I can help my mom and dad, and they're happy from me. I'm happy. I'm doing knowledge. So if I wasn't here, I wouldn't met you. You're a very nice person. So
You're welcome here.
Yeah, and this is my journey, which I'm quite happy. You know,
That's a hell of a journey.
And I'm one of, believe it or not, I'm one of the luckiest one.
Yeah.
One of the luckiest one. But sometimes when I look at the people, our people in back home, it's very painful, and it's heartbreaking, and I cannot do anything for them, and that is more hurting me.
Yeah.
More hurting me. So I hope everything goes better in our country and people get a better life.
It's very unlikely at the moment, isn't it, to get better?
Absolutely right.
So you're looking at 50, 60 years for anything to slowly change for the positive.
I don't think so, because the people at the moment, the mentality they got at the moment, I don't see any future, a better future in Afghanistan, especially the way is this Western country, America, is backing the Taliban. And so the future is not, I can't see. In my life, but I cannot see any future in this.
Not at all. Yeah. And Naj, how did you get here?
Well, I came same journey. We most Afghan people like that, you know.
Really?
So, yeah.
So I asked Ned the other day how he got here. He said, I got on a plane and just flew here.
Oh yeah, same as him, same journey almost.
Yeah. So did you go to Pakistan and come through several countries?
Pakistan. From Pakistan went to Iran. From Iran went to Turkey. Well, the last moment we did, like we lived in Afghanistan because too much pressure on us, and the situation came, very bad and bad. My older brother's been captured by Taliban. He's broken his arm, and he left earlier than us. And he's gonna go for a few months in Moscow, and I come back and see how it goes. Then it's getting worse. He said, don't come back, stay there. And he was there, and then he moved from there, same as him, came to the Europe, and then from Europe all the way come back to UK.
Yeah. So why was this route? Why did they follow a route going to Moscow? It seems to be
because this step, either way you go to Iran and Pakistan, or you go to Moscow.
Okay,
That's
as a stop off.
Yeah, to come out from Afghanistan. That's the routes.
Yeah.
And then my younger brother he's been kidnapped as well for 21 days. So because we had a good life as well, and my dad was at the manufacturers back home, he got a lot of 10, 15 people work for him. We were very young, brothers, sisters, go to school and stuff. And the situation getting bad and worse and worse. We used to live in capital in Kabul. We lived there, and then as Taliban's, we heard of Taliban's coming. My dad was kind of happy. He said, "Okay, he's getting better life, and situation gonna be better." When they, almost close to the approach to the city, getting worse, killing, chopping. He said, "No, that's not right, people." And then my dad was beaten up by them, and we ran away from capital. And minibus hit, 3 families. It was at 2-3 o'clock at night. I can't remember. Tapping my shoulders, my dad was hit. This is quite, the darkness, and then took us to the bus. I went to north of Afghanistan, ran away from there.
So it was the cities where the problems were?
From Kabul, we ran away from Kabul, from the town.
Yeah.
And for a week, my neighborhood doesn't know, no one's living here. After a week time, they find out that no one living in the house. We're already in a Mazar Sharif, different part of Afghanistan. We moved there.
And did you own the house that you left behind?
Yeah, my dad's house. And we went there, and because he had a 35, 40 years, job, business he left every single thing just with the clothes. Nothing could take the nighttime. The fridge, everything, put the curtain closed and just out of the house. He left everything behind.
Wow.
We went there and said, we're going to stay for a couple of weeks. And then a couple of weeks' time, we're going to come back. Should be fine. Everything going to be set. You're getting worse. We've been there for 5-6 years after that.
Yeah.
And then they came Taliban again, they, by force, and they captured that country, the city as well. From there, killing, chopping stuff. Again, my younger brother's been kidnapped. And for 21 days, and my mom couldn't eat and drink, sleep, anything, she became half a person.
Yeah.
And then blaming my dad's why not left before the country.
Yeah.
So that's, so we made the decision, my dad's, we have to leave the country, that's it.
Did your dad leave as well?
Yeah, and then everyone left, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you all managed to get to here?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that's like we always saying. Thanks God, we are the most lucky people out of the country. So we left everything behind from there.
And a complete fresh start. You have nothing. You just start from the beginning.
Come back again. The Pakistan, Iran, went to Turkey, went to Greece, come to Italy.
Yeah.
You know, same. You know, town to town, city to city.
Yeah.
France and from here.
And here you are on the verge of completing the knowledge.
Yes,
a great achievement. Mo, you told me an absolutely horrific story the other day. Do you think you could repeat that?
Okay, it's about my father-in-law family.
Father-in-law, yeah.
They established a construction company. It's called Northgate, and they bought a machine, a digging well machine, which was quite expensive, around 120,000 US dollars. And they was working with Americans as well. They're getting contract and digging the wells and get paid by Americans and by different companies. So they bought the machine, and the route from Kabul to Kandahar.
This is a drilling machine, isn't it?
Yeah,
For
drilling machine. Yeah. The route from Kabul to Kandahar is very long way to go, and the road was not roads like in UK.
Yeah.
It's been blown up by bombs, a lot of potholes, and it was very bad road. So no one was willing to go with the machine because of danger. So my father-in-law, he said, okay, he was a very good man, very brave man. He said, okay, I'm going with machine. And they hired two guards with the AK-47 to escort them all the way on the way to Kandahar. No one stopping on the way. So by the time they got to Kandahar, and the mafia, they took the machine and they killed my father-in-law, and they...
Did they kill the bodyguards?
The bodyguards ran away. Because you cannot stand against them. The two bodyguards, they can't do anything.
Yeah.
So after that, after killing my father-in-law, they put my brother-in-law in prison. He was in prison for 4 months.
This is the part that was really hard to understand. So your brother-in-law goes to prison, even though he had nothing to do with killing your father-in-law, and nothing to do... His only problem is the machine has been stolen, and they need someone to be responsible for
the
this.
machine was there. Everyone knew where's the machine. The machine was there. They knew the person name as well, but there was no one could go to approach to that person to ask him why I've taken the machine. So machine was there. Even after that, 3 people, young boys, and they graduated from Afghanistan University as an engineer, civil engineer. They went there to discuss with the same person to get the machine back. So they went, and 3 of them got killed in outside the same person's house, shot dead, all 3 of them.
Yeah.
As I showed you the pictures as well, with the bullets and everything.
Yeah, it was horrific.
So be honest with you, when we are complaining from Taliban, even the previous government, the guy came from America. He was running a restaurant. We had 20 years, we had 2 presidents. Both of them had a restaurant in America. They came by American forces to Afghanistan to listen what America says. They came there and they destroyed the country. Whatever happening today, been taken over by Taliban. People have not livelihood. The main fault is them 2 people, them 2 previous presidents.
Yeah, but you feel you had a chance to make it better, but they didn't.
Absolutely, billions of dollars came to the country, but all of them they've been plundered by them 2 people, by their relatives, by their villagers, by their people, by mafia, and them people. So the country people at the moment is struggling because of them too, and Taliban came because of them too, and all of them. But still, there's a lot of stupid people in the country. Still, they follow them. Same people who destroy the country. Still they calling them, they are our greatest, we call it rahbar. They are our greatest...
assets?
Assets you can say, like
President.
in here, president, in here the people they follow like Churchill.
Mm-hmm.
Then people calling them like as a Churchill.
Efsani,
Legend. The reason the legend, because they destroy the country. They haven't built nothing. So people should grow up, and they should have broad-minded and see what happened to the country. And that is the story about my father-in-law family.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, that is nothing. This happened to the people worse than that.
Yeah.
You don't see them. You don't listen to them. You cannot hear them because their voices can't get in here. No one listens to them. It's millions of people like that, and their lives are full of horrific stories. And I don't think there's any family in Afghanistan not suffer because of what happened in Afghanistan for the last 20 years since. But behind all of that, believe it or not, behind all whatever happened, America and British forces could do better, but they haven't done a great job.
Yeah.
So all the refugees now coming to the UK, it's not because of they wanted to come to the UK, because the British government with America government, they made people to come in here. So when they come in here, they should accept them, because whatever happened in Afghanistan, it's because of them countries.
Sadly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're here now, working away. Now you're still working in Yum Yums?
No, stop for the moment. They keep calling me always. So anytime if I go, they want me to. So at the moment, maybe if I finish here, I'll just go for a weekend sometimes. You know, just for a.
Well,
and I've got friends though. I mean, it's like a lot of customers. They know me as well.
Yeah. I was very
want
good.
Me, they want me. So yeah.
You're in demand now. You can make a mean gin and tonic.
They don't know I'm doing the knowledge at the moment.
I
just keep it. If I go with my badge.
Okay. It'd be nice.
Surprise, and then celebrate.
So do you have obviously got friends here in England that are from Afghanistan? Would you encourage those to do the knowledge, or you think this has been too difficult to do?
I've been in 2004 or 5 when the public carriage office was in Penton Street. I went there to get a form to do the knowledge. When I went there, I queued on reception, and then when my turn comes, they asked me. I told them I want to do a black cap knowledge. Can I have the form? When they look at me, they say, obviously, I'm foreigner. They look at me, do you have a British passport? First question they ask me, I say, no, I don't have. At that time, I had a 4-year visa. Then they said to me, you can't do it. So then I walk after the place. That was in 2004 or 5. I can't remember exactly there. And that's it. Then I carry on doing my mini cabbing, was busy with my life. Well, one night I picked someone. I used to work in Harwood cars by Harwood station. I picked an Englishman. He sat front. He was living in Raynham. Then he was a black cab driver. And he said to me, why are you not doing the knowledge? You're wasting your time in here. And you are from ethnic minority. They need you. You have to come do the knowledge. That was the first English person which really encouraged me. So when I listened to that person, then I was thinking, yeah, I can do that. I know London. Let's try. Give it a go. Then next day, then I call Ahmed, my friend. I said, listen, let's do it. He said, yeah, I'm doing it. So we applied online, and we got the form, everything we filled in. And now I'm here. I started the knowledge because of one very nice English person. I cannot remember his name.
From Harold Wood?
From Raynham.
Oh, from Raynham, who was already a taxi driver?
Yeah, he was a black cab driver, and I was a mini cab, working in Harwood Station, by Harwood Station, So he said to me, do the knowledge. Don't waste your time. And that person really encouraged me. And since I started the knowledge, every single person which I know from my country, I encouraged him. I told him, come, I help you. I will guide you. I'll show you what's the easiest way, the quickest way. But what you have to do, you have to work hard. And I've been encouraging every single person. And I think a few people is already bought a book from you.
Yeah. Well, I noticed the number of Afghanis doing the knowledge is quite high in relation to the percentage of the population that's Afghani. So there are quite a few of you. I mean, there's a lot that have been through the school already in the past. I've got several Afghanistan cab drivers out there that have come through over the years. And they had some amazing stories. I mean, they'd come over from the lorries, in the back of the lorries from Calais, in the freezer trucks and stuff like that, which is amazing. Naj, so you're doing the same, encouraging people, but your journey, how did you come about to start the knowledge?
Well, I was working in my previous job and then the customer as well.
What was the previous job?
I mean, as a bartender.
Oh, you still, in Yum Yums?
Yeah.
So you've always worked in Yum Yums as the bartender?
Yes. And then, there's a customer come always, he was studying. I said, how was the study? He said, I was hearing my cousin was doing at that time as well. And he was just about to finish as well. He's saying good about stuff. And I said, I'm just almost finishing. And disappeared after for sometimes. He came back again. He was so happy. He said, I'm happy. And then, I said, I don't know how to do it. He said, hey man, just start it. This is the way.
Yeah.
He showed me.
So your cousin had already done it?
My cousin was just about to finish that time, yeah.
What's his name?
Atta.
Atta. Do I know him?
Yeah, I think so, yes.
Yeah.
I'm sure, yeah. He was doing his Wizan as well.
Yeah, I think I do.
He was there with his friend as well. Because they had experience of the knowledge of London already. Yeah. Or they are like over 10 years drivers in London.
Yeah.
So me, home and work, that's it. I don't know nowhere, nothing. I was blank. I said to guys as well, I said, I don't know nothing about London.
Yeah.
East, west, north, I don't know nothing. If they ask me, I don't know.
And now?
And I was would take me for the run. They asked me which way city. I said I was blank. And they would maybe angry with me. I said, I don't know nothing.
Yeah.
I can understand now. When I go up and down, in the city, I feel thanks, for the knowledge. I said, understanding, sometimes when I'm driving, I'm doing Uber as well currently as well, just, for the,
When I started 30 years ago, my friend said to me, you're doing the knowledge, it's easy, you know London. And I worked Covent Garden from the age of 15.
Yeah.
I'd done 10 years working Covent Garden, so I knew Covent Garden.
Okay.
Brilliant. He said to me, he also worked Covent Garden, and he went away and done the knowledge and became a taxi driver at the same time as working Covent Garden with me. He said, you can do it, it's easy. Look, take me from the Strand to Buckingham Palace. I said, I don't know. I work in Covent Garden. I don't know how to get from the Strand to Buckingham Palace. I live in the East End, so I always go home this direction. So you come to this, and I kind of always felt when you're going to learn the knowledge, I do tend to think sometimes it's actually a benefit to know nothing before you start, so that when you do start, you kind of you just take it all in. I have met many people over the years who come and they say, always, whenever I'm speaking to minicab drivers, I want to do the knowledge because I know London already. I'm a minicab driver. And you think, well, you may know London already, but you really don't know what you're in for. And the complacency that a lot of them have, that they think they know something. But what's hard about the knowledge is the language. So it's okay saying you know London. It's okay saying I know how to get to Buckingham Palace. Yes, that's true. Now tell me word for word every street and every left and right turning.
Sure, yeah.
Then you know the knowledge. And it's that aspect that I find a lot of the minicab drivers, when they come along, they misunderstand that part. They think, I just need to know my way around. No, you need to learn to speak your way around perfectly so the examiner understands you. And that is an enormously difficult thing. So the achievement of being able to do this, which you are both so close to do, and I'm going to be here when you pass out. I'll come up and meet you when your badges are handed out. You're going to be 80,000 something.
Once I was doing, I was thinking of doing knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, I was like 6 months or a year. I was doing almost a year. I was doing work in a pizza shop.
Okay.
I was doing inside, in and out, all the work and job I was doing.
Delivering pizzas?
Delivery pizza as well. I don't know, no clue to be honest. They will show me the map. There's not even training outside how to do it professionally. It's take me from here. I was looking the map. I was counting how many streets is there on road and write it down after 10. I was writing before and after the road as well. I'm missing. I was to make sure if I'm going forward or backward. I was writing as well, writing down with a pen on my hand. And I was writing I don't know how far is it. I'd never been in my life first time.
Which area is this?
It's especially the Kingsland Road.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, that was Shoreditch High Street, almost Shoreditch High Street, the pizza shop there. And I was going forward to Stoke Newington that way. always going the main road. I was writing down. If I go, I was drawing like, the roads, how many been there. I was drawing in my hand as well.
Yeah.
That's why he's good in knowledge at the moment in the same area.
In that around that area. He likes the
That
Kingston
area, yeah.
Road, Shoreditch, Stoke Newington. Yeah.
So,
Do you know Barrett's Grove?
Barrett's Grove? Yes.
You know Barrett's Grove? Do you know Barrett's Grove,
Yes, I
Mo?
know that, yeah.
Stoke
But it's
Newington.
closed now. You can't get to.
You can't get through.
there now.
Number 10 Barrett's Grove was the house I was born in.
Wow.
There's a school in the corner, church.
I don't know it. I was
Yeah.
born there and I left straight away.
Yeah.
So my family are all Roman Road, Bonner Street based. And I'm not exactly sure what happened, but I think my mum and dad had an argument, and my mum went away, and she was in the house in Barrett's Grove, and she was pregnant, and I was born in their house. So I'm ashamed of it because it's kind of not exactly the East End. So we was taken away from my roots and born somewhere else, and then came back the next night. So Barrett's Grove. Oh, Suleiman is passed out. How do you feel about that?
Just finished. I was
He's finished.
Suleiman is another Afghani student, and he's now got his rec.
Yeah, he's got recently, just a couple of weeks back, isn't it? Yeah, and then I'm so happy for him as well.
Yes,
And
he was crazy, but how amazing.
I started with him, to be honest.
Yep.
I don't know, no clue, nothing. I haven't finished my blue book, and he said, I hate that he's doing as well. I didn't know about him, he's doing it.
Yeah.
And my brother said he's doing as well. I was shocked. I said, okay. And he said, he's not going to come to me because I'm blue book, I'm beginner, he's ahead as well.
Yeah.
So he was showing me like a lot of places, to be honest. He was a bit guiding me as well. Thanks for him anyway, yeah.
How long did he take? Do you know?
To be honest, I don't know exactly, in fact, how much time he spent before, because I want to start when I came to the school, all the school, we come join together.
Yeah, he hasn't got
But
his
he
badge
was done
yet.
before though, yeah.
When does he get his badge?
He just, last week he finished last week.
Yeah,
He's got his badge?
No, he got his rec.
He's got rec.
Last week,
yeah,
last week. So he's going to get his badge in maybe 5, 6, 7 weeks.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
You both have young families,
Yeah.
so it's quite. You have a daughter,
Yeah.
and you have two daughters.
I have 5 children.
You're joking, Mo. I didn't. Mo has 5 children
I have
from 5 different women.
I've got one woman. I love her.
Yeah.
She's a very good woman. She look after my family, my kids, everyone. She's a hardworking woman, and I got married in 2004. She came to this country 2007, and I've got 5 kids. My daughter, she's 17. She's in Mayfield School, 6th form. She's at the moment doing a science. She wants to become a doctor in here.
Wonderful.
And my son, he's same school, and he's an intelligent boy as well. He supports Man City.
It's a Manchester City
Yeah,
supporter.
and my other son, he crazy of football. He's 8 years old, and he's a very clever, intelligent boy. And every month, believe it or not, he gets certificate with a medal from the school.
Mm.
And he support West Ham.
Well, he's a good, loyal local boy. That's at least he has the right idea.
Yeah. So always they're arguing
Yeah.
at home. When West Ham loses, they're arguing.
Yeah.
So I tell my oldest son, you are a glory hunter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Support, Man
Absolutely.
City. So West Ham is our local club. So we should support our locals. And I've got a disabled daughter. She born with a lot of problem. She's about 10 years old. I've got a baby. She's 9 months now.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very busy family, hardworking family, and I'm busy as well doing knowledge.
Yeah.
So everyone's busy in their life. Everyone's happy.
Oh, wow. 5 kids. And Naji's the smart one. You have one daughter?
Just one, at the moment, yeah.
At the moment, you're going to have more.
We'll see, after knowledge.
Oh, dear. Children are hard work. Mo's a crazy man. 5 children? My goodness. What's going on?
Yeah.
Those days are over, Mo. No one has 5 children anymore. You're a lucky man. It's lovely to have a lot of children, but my goodness, 1 child is hard. 2 children is probably as good as it gets, and beyond that is just insanity. I don't know how the energy you need to keep.
My mom and dad, we are 12 brothers and sisters back home. 12 from one mom and dad. And 5 is...
I can agree with that. Was it 12 of your mum and 12 of your dad? So it was 24 aunts and uncles?
12 altogether.
Okay.
Sister and
Because
brothers.
my family was a little larger, funny enough. My mum and my dad is 11 brothers and sisters, and my mum is 9, I think. So we're 20. I think I have 20 blood aunts and uncles, not including the ones they
I'm
married.
not talking about that. I'm just myself.
You're 12.
We are 12.
Oh, you are part of a 12 family, not your mum and dad's family.
Yeah, that's what
You've got 12 brothers and sisters.
Yeah,
Your
12
mum had 12 children.
12 children, yeah.
My
Yeah, so
goodness.
compared to 12, 5 is very small family.
It is very well. It's 50% reduction immediately. What did you have, Nat?
We are 7 brothers and 6 sisters. Yeah,
13.
13. We are the highest number on our relatives.
So already they got football.
You got you could play.
And one spare one, two
Yeah.
spare one to play.
You got subs.
Yeah.
Really, you're 13 and you're 12.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Because the thing is, those days there's no TV much. There's
No TV, yeah, but you still
no phone.
It's no excuse. There's no TV, but we still don't have to have a baby. Would you fancy having a baby? There's no television. Oh dear. So I imagine as well there's television now in Afghanistan. It's all nice and...
No, there's television. You can't see nothing.
Oh,
They stopped everything. All the
music?
serials. You cannot watch anything. The only thing you can watch, you might see a few mullahs with the big turban.
Yeah.
They come here, will give you some advice. But you don't have a bread to eat.
Mm.
You have to listen to the advice.
Yeah.
That's what they're going to tell you.
They try to wash your brain slowly, different way.
Yeah, you did
That's all,
mention
yeah.
about buying bread the other day.
You go to any bakery.
Mm-hmm.
Spoke to my mom recently, and she said to me, it's very, very painful when I go there to buy a bread. And he said, in front of every single bakery, there's hundreds of people sitting there. And when you go by, and all of them raise their hand to help me give me a bread. They don't want any any biryani or kebab or anything. They want just a piece of bread to eat. And that's it.
Yeah, it's a dire
Sad,
situation.
sad,
Yeah.
Very sad.
Well, hopefully things are much better for you here.
Hopefully.
Well, they are much better for you here, and hopefully you're going to be passing out very, very soon, driving cabs, being a credit to the licensed London taxi trade. I'm really, really pleased that I have met you and began to know you and become friends. It's been a pleasure for me, and it's going to be a great pleasure to see you with badges, really.
Thank you, Dean. And believe it or not, always we boys, especially we Afghani boys, we admire you. Whatever you created in here, you built this school, and the environment which you provided, everything in here for us is amazing. And without you, we wouldn't be able to finish this.
So
Far we are serious. It's not because you're sitting in front of me.
Yeah, I think maybe.
You always admire you for that. You're a gentleman. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
We mentioned to boys as well. I said, especially when it's my partner, and I say to them as well, I think we are the most lucky students in London. We have this kind of we like a home.
Mm-hmm.
We have a toilet. We have a kitchen. It's like a home.
Yeah.
Anytime you go, anytime you come, no one say to you anything or pick on you, say something to you, or disrespect anything. Everything there, no one's can do that one. Honestly, I don't think we are the most lucky. And I said thanks to Dean always. So honestly, thanks to Dean. This opportunity we have.
Mm.
I'm busy. I can't do my study. I'm not worried, and it's not gonna go nighttime. I take cover some part of my study.
Yeah.
This is the only school, Dean, which will suit for everyone. Anyone who work during the day, they can come at night. If you work at night, you can come during the day.
There's no excuse.
This is the only place which you can come anytime.
Yeah. Well, with 24 hours a day, it's been lovely
an
advantage to have.
It's good.
Well,
very good.
I love you both. It's been lovely talking to you both. And I know there's 100,000 other stories that I'd love to listen to and tell. The main aim of this really is to just show other Afghanis in London, if they're watching this video, that you too can do the knowledge, and that the knowledge is a great achievement. It's an incredible achievement, even more so, as I said, because of the fact this is not your first language, and this is not your first city. And London, by city standards, London is a very big, sprawling city. I mean, it's difficult city to learn, but it's a wonderful city, and it's a wonderful city to work in. And as taxi drivers, are you going to be a real honor to have you working in it?
I remember, Dean, I was long time ago. I dropped someone in London. I told you I used to work in Essex, Romford, and Harrowwood. That was Brentwood, that area. So I picked someone. I dropped him somewhere in London. I can't remember where. So one of my friends called me, and I was start talking to him. So I've been driving for 10-15 minutes. I end up exactly same place at traffic light which I was 10-15 minutes ago. I told him, please go. I lost myself. Exactly same place I was 10-15 minutes ago. So as you know, London is very complicated.
Yeah.
If you don't know, you'll get lost very quickly. So knowledge will make you better to find your way.
And isn't it wonderful now that you know London in the way that you do, how small it suddenly seems?
Absolutely. I tell my friends, I encourage them to do the knowledge. I tell them probably when you start, the first blue book is a bit hard. Then the second blue book will become a bit easier. Then the third one is easier. Then the fourth one is the easiest one, because most of the rules will be in fourth and third, which is on first and second one. So you already memorize them. You know where they are located. So it's better you start, but do not leave in the first one. Once you memorize the first one, then the second, third, the fourth one will come.
It gets easier and easier as you go. And then you have to start doing the real work, which is point to point.
Yeah.
And
And one thing, Dean, as well, one of my cousin came from Europe and asked me, take me from Hackney to Victoria Station. You try to go back to a station and go to a different city. And I was struggling I was thinking, I was new driver as well, and the navigation as well. I was kind of looking, I was panicking. I never been inside the city, and I had to get in, I had to, seeing the roads, the one-way system, the stuff. I was struggling myself with too much pressure on me, but, it doesn't know. And he asked me, how long have you been living in this country? I was ashamed. I said, I would just try to ignore his question. I said that it's not far distant from Hackney to Victoria Station, not much, but I was struggling. And after I was just scratching my head, I said, if someone asks you from different country, if you ask some information, you struggle. If you live in some city, you have to have still a bit of knowledge.
Yeah.
And this knowledge, I ask me someone, where is this place? Where is this place? You can't excuse. Just it's good to know. It's good knowledge. If you things is beneficial for you, and more information and more interesting as well. A lot of places in London, very interesting places. If you know it, if you don't know, it's hidden place.
Well, I have some experience. I've driven in lots and lots of cities, and I find the city I live in now in Izmir is very easy because it's a big bay. So the shape is very easy. But I found Berlin very difficult. So you're in Berlin and they tell you to go to a train station, or you've got to take a friend to a train station. You have zero concept, and I think people don't understand. Now we know London. When you're in a new city, you have zero concept of which way is north, east, south, and west, let alone anything. So you're literally, you don't know which way you're pointing. You don't know which way the road has just turned off slowly and taken you facing another direction. You've got no clue whatsoever. So, and without the map and without actually studying, it's very difficult to understand a city unless you're in and out all the time. I imagine as well, a lot of foreigners, when they come to London, if you're using the underground, you must have no idea where you are.
No idea.
You're on the underground all the time.
Even someone asked me about the underground, I have no idea, because always I drive overground.
You're an overground.
I have no idea about underground. Whenever I go, sometimes I use underground. Every station I go goes to someone and ask him from here which train I have to catch to go there. So they will guide me. Then I'll follow their direction. And people come from back home. They were saying someone came from back home and start driving. There was a big roundabout. He was driving around the roundabout. He lost himself. Someone called him. He said, "This is a dangerous driver. He's driving around in roundabout, so he's not going nowhere. He's creating chaos." So someone called the police.
Here?
And the police came and stopped him and said, "What's going on?" Then guy said, "This roundabout is a problem." He said, "No, not roundabout. You are the problem. The roundabout is the same roundabout, but you don't know."
Why couldn't he get off the roundabout?
So, because there's a lot of exit, so he didn't know which exit to take. So the roundabout is a problem. The police said, "No, you're the roundabout. You are the problem."
Well, roundabouts, I don't know how they work in Afghanistan, but in Turkey they're terrible because
roundabouts two-way in Afghanistan.
A roundabout is two way. All of them?
I think it's all of them. I think most of
To
them.
be honest, the roundabout.
Yeah, the roundabout. As far as I remember,
it's two ways. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's two-way. It's crazy.
Yeah.
There's no line there. They know where they're doing.
It doesn't matter which way you go. You can go anywhere.
Yeah.
Whenever I used to go back home, my brother, they used to drive me around. And they asked me, "You're not driving?" I said, "No, I can't drive right now." But I used to drive back home.
Yeah.
Since I came, I get used to driving here, follow the rules. And there are no rules.
No rules.
No rules. You have to be, if you're playing a game, you're good at game. So you're a good, better driver in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
So if you're not good playing a game, so you can't be driving.
No, I can, yeah, similar. Well, the rules in Turkey for the roundabout is that they try to change to be like the European law that you give way to traffic on the roundabout. But the old law was that the traffic on the roundabout gives way to the traffic coming onto the roundabout.
Okay.
So now you have the confusion of the old driver who thinks, I'm going to drive the old way, which means I am coming onto the roundabout, so you are on it, you must stop for me. And then you have the new driver who thinks, you're coming onto the roundabout and I am in the right way, so you must stop for me. Oh. And you get this chaos. And then you get the ones where they all stop. They're stopping to let you on. You're stopping to let them on, and it's
start building up.
Why they don't take the rules from Afghanistan both way?
Both way. So well, they kind of do. In Turkey, they're not super bad drivers. I don't want to say that they are, but there are a percentage that's. And I think it comes down to this with every country. It's the percentage of how many bad drivers you have. And I estimate about 15% to 20% of Turkish drivers are bad in the sense that the 20% probably are the ones who think they're the best because they drive the fastest, they drive the most forceful, they don't care about anything, the road is for them. I had a friend whose son got killed in a car crash, and he said when he was telling me how he got killed, he was putting the blame on the other driver, but as he was telling me, I was thinking actually it was your son's fault. He was driving on the motorway super quick, and as he come up behind the car in front of him, he got very close to the car in front of him, and he was flashing the car in front of him
to move.
Get out the way. And they're doing maybe 130, 140, 160 kilometers an hour, flashing. He moved, but as he was moving too slowly for him, so he was getting closer and closer. And my friend said to me, it's all the man in front's fault. He didn't move out of the way. And as he moved out of the way, he accelerated too quickly, and they clipped each other, and over they went, and he was killed. And it was the fact that my friend's telling me that it was completely not his fault. And I thought, well, everything you just said there sounded wrong. You know, you're dangerous for driving so close, dangerous for driving so fast, dangerous for flashing the person in front to make them get out of the way. And obviously you tried to overtake before the car even got out of the way.
I remember something which is very interesting. That's good. Just come up my mind. Me and my dad, our house was in Kabul, capital, winter village. We come from Baghlan. And we were coming to Kabul, and we hired a taxi. So the taxi driver started driving on the way. The taxi driver stopped there. My dad was sleeping in the back seat. So the taxi driver stopped on the road somewhere. The one other person was sitting in the front seat. He jumped, went and knocked the door. And they got a plastic bag. In that plastic bag, there was alcohol. So they bought alcohol. And the route which you take from Baghlan to Kabul is very dangerous. It's a mountain. A blink of eye, you're dead. You finish. It's a very dangerous route. So then on the way, they got their alcohol now, 2-3 bags. I can't remember. There's plastic bags, plastic bags. And my daddy won't have no clue because I went from UK. I knew what's going on. So my 16 was saying, okay, they bought some alcohol. Okay. So we stopped in a restaurant on the way. We had the lunch and they started drinking. Them, the driver. And I told the guy, I said, excuse me, what are you doing? It's dangerous. Then the other one say, if he's not drunk, he's a bad driver. Once he's drunk, he's a good driver. Believe me or not, exactly the word he said to me, I'm repeating in here.
Yeah.
And believe me or not, I was watching that driver. I was sitting behind. I was watching that driver all the way to Kabul. If a slightly mistake, I was stopping. I said, excuse me, wake up. What are you doing? And I couldn't tell that to my dad because my dad was so serious about drinking alcohol. So I kept that with myself.
So your dad didn't know they'd had a drink?
No. Believe it or not, if he knew, he would have smashed the driver. Smash the driver because it's no good. Obviously, in country which is alcohol is prohibited, selling is prohibited, drink is prohibited, and especially
driving and
driving. And there's no law, rules and regulation on the road. And the way we are coming is very people who know that from Baghlan coming to Kabul is a Salang Pass. It says is a mountain.
Yeah.
You got to 3-4 hours. You have to drive from mountain side of mountain. You look below, is hundreds of meters.
Yeah, straight down.
You're there. You're finished. You're dead. So for 4 or 5 hours, I was watching that driver, and anything. Luckily, so we save our in Kabul. And believe me, I didn't say nothing to my dad because he would get very upset.
So did he drive better when he was drunk?
Believe it or not, I was not looking to his driving. I was looking to him to keep eye on him to any silly mistake.
Yeah.
Because I passed my license in here in UK. I've been driving in here, UK as a mini cab driver, everything. So I knew how to drive and how to. Then the way he started, then it's really worrying for me. He's frightening me. I said no, I have to keep.
When was this?
That was, I think, around 2015, 16.
Oh, okay. So this is you taking a trip back to Afghanistan and then coming back here, yeah. And when did you get your British passport?
I got my British passport in 2008.
Okay. And you, Naj, when did you get it?
2013.
Yeah. Okay. So you're a young Brit.
Yeah.
No.
But they're really making hard for the people. I mean, when I applied for my British passport, I paid... £750 to get the passport. But now if you want to apply for a normal visa, you have to pay £5,000-6,000.
Yes.
If you are a working person, if you got 2 kids, your wife and yourself, 4 people, you have to pay about 20,000-25,000 to get the visa in this country.
Yep.
It's impossible. It's just...
Well, this brings me on to my own circumstances because a lot of people feel that it's very, very easy to just come to England and that we need to stop immigration, and it's not that that the government needs to change the rules. But it seems to me that the most immigration here that the people are worried about is actually the illegal immigration, where people get into the country illegally. If you try to come to this country legally, it's almost impossible because of the money it costs, the documents you need to supply.
It's hard to get.
Yeah.
No, I'm not talking about that visa you apply back home. I'm talking about here.
When you're here.
When you're here, you're already here. They give you your settlement. But you, after 10 years you're living in here, you want to apply for a visa for a British passport for your child, or British passport for your wife or for yourself. Yeah. You have to pay thousands of pounds, even you don't have that money. You have to borrow from someone, or you have to use your credit card, or that will break your bank account, that will cost you leg and arm to get that visa.
My wife is Turkish, and we were married in 2012. My wife doesn't have a British passport, and she was also refused. Twice they refused a visa. It took me lawyers and complications. We have 2 children that have British passports, but my wife, I ended up deciding to get her a 10-year visitor visa, tourist visa. That was the simplest way to get in and out of the country. She wants a British passport. But to get the British passport, we have to live here full time. And I don't particularly like living here full time. I'd rather live there. So she has a residence visa, which she gets every 2 years, that I have to reapply for. And every time it reapplied for us, it costs us about £6,000 to apply for, get the documents, and be refused. We got refused 1 year, and the guy who had obviously read our documents, he said he just doesn't believe anything. I'd sent pictures of our wedding and pictures of our holidays and pictures of our children and pictures of our bank accounts. And he said, I just don't believe you going to be able to afford to keep your wife if you were living in this country. And I'd sent him my business details and everything. So we were refused pretty much for no reason whatsoever.
It was very strict though.
Yeah. What I had to do was, I was the director of a limited company and not on wages. I had to put myself on wages on income
Okay.
to show that I got paid wages and then reapply, which basically was costing me more and more money. But once they saw that I had an income, it was okay. Even though I owned the company that was paying me now, I also showed them that the company's assets and everything else beforehand. No, I wasn't getting paid anything. I needed to have a wage, even though my accountant showed them the dividends that I would be paid as a limited company. So it was absurdly difficult for the fact that this is actually my wife. And the reason it's become difficult is obviously people were doing the fake weddings and everything else. So they up the ante but what they stop people who are genuinely like myself, married to a woman that I love and can't get here.
Sometime in this country, instead of making some easier life for the people, sometimes they're making harder. Where I live, exactly opposite my door, they put a camera, school timing camera, which in restriction, 8:45 to 9:45. So then every time, believe it or not, when I used to work and do the knowledge, when I go home, my daughter, I told you I got a disabled daughter, she wakes up 4 or 3 in the morning. After waking up, sit with her, and most of the time in the morning I got a headache. Most of the time I live on painkillers. So they put a camera, 3-4 cameras, different angles. Believe it or not, by the time I realize, and sometime on the way I realize, I went through cameras. Exactly, when I come out of my house, you can see the camera front of my door. So I received about 10-11 tickets, something like that. I appealed against that tickets. They did not accept it. I re-appealed. They did not accept it. They give that ticket to bailiffs. And I contacted, regarding that, I contacted the Citizens Wide Bureau. I sent email, I complained to Redbridge Council. And I complained to our local MP. I had the proof. There I'm living. And exactly put opposite my door the camera. So luckily, nothing happened.
Yeah.
So then by the time the bailiff, I sorted out I paid more than £2,000 to get rid of them tickets because I was living there. And my son goes to that school. And my other kids, I have to go through them routes to go take them to school. And then by the time I realized I should not go them routes, it cost me more than £2,000. Council did not help me. Local MP did not help me. Didn't even reply to my emails. Forget about helping me. Didn't even reply to my emails. So sometimes they are making life harder and harder for the people.
So many rules in this country. So many rules. I mean, we're not as bad as America just yet, but we are getting there. When I was traveling in America, there was a parking ticket you can get for not driving into the parking space. If you reversed into the parking space, so your car would be facing the opposite way, you get a ticket. And there's a sign up. And the ticket price was really funny. It would be like $271. It would say $271 fine for not driving into the parking space.
Parking is nice.
So the man's going to come along and see your car's facing the opposite way. You didn't drive in, you reversed in, ticket. So someone's decided it's a bright idea that driving into the space is quicker, but obviously you still have to reverse out. So reversing out will be slow. Reversing into a space, perhaps people are not very good at it. It must be that in general, people can't reverse into space. But if they can't reverse into a space, they'll probably be just as bad at reversing out of a space. So I can't see the ticket. Anyway, these are the crazy things that we have to live with. And now when you become cabbies, you'll find there's a few more advantages to the to driving, but you still, when you're mini cabin, you have to watch out for so many things, don't you, for the mistakes that we can make driving, bus lanes, for example.
Always, I've been driving as a minicab, but black cab drivers, they're really ignoring minicab drivers. When I become a black cab driver, believe me or not, I wouldn't be like others, a normal black cab driver, like.
But they're not all the same, Mo. They're not all the same.
Beeping. Even you cannot stop your car in a taxi rank when you're dropping in London. If any black cab driver will see you, will come out, you cannot stop here because it's a taxi rank or blah, blah, blah. He'll give you a mount and he will destroy your day for just stopping a minute. Well, he's a minicab driver, you're a black cab driver. You have done knowledge, he hasn't done knowledge. So what's wrong with you?
Well, let's see what you do when you see your first minicab sitting on your rank, when you want to sit on it and park on it. Let's see what you do then when you pass out.
I believe when I had a bad experience, I wouldn't beep anyone. And,
No, I tend not to.
Yeah.
When you drive in London, one of the biggest tips is to be as calm as possible. It's that you don't want to lose your temper. When you do pass out, very often, if you do get angry and road rage, it costs you money because you have to go home. You just can't carry on working. You get too angry.
I told you I was driving for Harwood cars.
Yeah.
In Harwood, there's a taxi rank. About 4 or 5 black cab drivers can park there, and but you couldn't see a single black cab driver park up there. They never, always empty. But when we used to come pick up our fare, we used to come exactly to that taxi rank and pick up and go.
Yeah.
Okay. So that taxi rank was only for black cab driver. When West Ham was playing, they used to come park their vehicles, black cabs there, go to watch West Ham game, then come back and go. So even TFL people, we used to come and park there for 2 minutes to pick up someone. The TFL will come with his badge. You show this badge. You say, taxi rank, you cannot park in here. Excuse me, I work. See, this is the office. In front of my office, there's a taxi. And give us a space to come and pick up. This is our fare.
Yeah.
And there's no space for us, but there's an empty place for black cab drivers only to park there to go watch West Ham game.
More power, you know.
It's one of the perks. Not that I would want to go and watch West Ham because I'm a Millwall supporter, but, you know.
We will supporter.
Yeah.
We get along good, that's good.
Well, yes. I mean, I am one of those, you have to support the team that is your locale rather than Manchester City and Liverpool and Manchester United. And, anyway, listen, we're going to finish now because it's been an hour and 5 minutes and it's been a lovely quick chat. Yeah. And I'd like to do one in the future when you've passed out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll come back. Yeah, and we'll talk about fares and how you're finding it and how you like the job.
Once you pass, Najib pass, I pass, we will have the same barbecue party.
Okay, we'll have a big barbecue party.
Yeah,
wonderful.
Najib will give us a barbecue
party. Najib can do the bar, you can do the food.
That's it.
I'll do the
Leave
music.
The bar for me
you can do the eating.
I'll do the eating. I'll definitely do the eating. I'm very good at that. Thank you guys. It's been wonderful.
Thank you,
Thanks so much.